Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Sheffield United Way video. We are doing everyone's favourite, mine and Ollie's favourite video, I think, championship predictions, and we always have a bit of a laugh while we're doing it. I hope everyone's doing well out there. You will soon find out what numbers you got and who got the top scores. Going to find out if I got more, Ollie got more. We might as well bring Ollie in now. How's it going, mate? Welcome to the stream, pal.
Yes, thank you for having me, Nick. I could have done with a warning that we've got the new intro video. That caught me off guard. That completely shocked me.
Did you enjoy it, though?
I did. I liked it.
Good man. Good man. That's a big shout out to Johnny from Shoreham View. Absolute legend for always doing them. As soon as I got the new logo, it's like, come on then, sling the logo across to me so I can make you a video. I'm like, what a guy.
Top man indeed. I will apologise to everybody on stream in advance as well. I have been in bed constantly with flu for the last 3 days. So if I'm sounding nasal, if I look like death, it's because I feel that way. So hopefully, we'll get through this and we'll all be all right.
I'm wondering by the end of the video, is your beard going to get any longer? Because at the moment, that is one hell of a beard.
Yeah, it needs to go, to be honest. It's completely out of control. So by the time the preview comes out, I'm sure it will be gone. And I'll be a fresh-faced looking young man.
As you always are. Now, let's talk about the fixtures, Ollie, because before I even bring it up, I'm going to say, finally, you have got more points than me in a game week. Talk us through it, mate. There it is on screen right now.
Oh, it is lovely. It's certainly taken a long time. It feels like I've lost every week for God knows how long. But as you can see from the results on screen, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 correct results and 1 correct score for a grand total of 7 points. Nick got, well, technically he got 4 correct results, but one of those being his banker gives him a little bit of a bonus for 5 points. Not bad. I'm catching up a little bit. I don't think it will have helped me massively in the grand scheme of things, but 2 points is better than none. It's better than losing.
Yeah, I'll be honest, mate. I thought I was dead in the water when I was going through these results because the first 3 games, you'd got 2 correct results and 1 correct score. And I'd only got 1 correct score. And I'm thinking, I am done for here. But I managed to scrape a couple of extra points. And it ended up being 7-5 to your good self. Now, what did the audience do?
Yeah, they did well this week. You had some really nice scores. So Peter Heppel got 10, which is a really good effort. JohnEgan.com, an old favourite, got 12, which is a fantastic effort. But our winner was Mike Price, a relatively new name. He got 13 points. And they all came very much from some of our bonus categories. He got his banker perfect for 6 points. He got the England score perfect for an extra bonus 3 points. And so he had a fantastic week building on those. And Charlie, you're damn right, I'm going to blame my bad predictions on B&L.
I think Ben Osborne is a great penalty taker. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, so what I was going to say is I want to give a big shout out to Shaz because in every week she sends us a message and says, how many points do I get for this? She takes it so seriously. I love that so much from her. I love it. So, yeah, I just wanted to keep going. Did you have a look what Shaz got?
I think she'd prefer it if we didn't bring it up on stream.
Okay, now let's move on. No. Well, to be fair, I only got 5. So, yeah, not very good looking at what the other viewers or listeners or whatever you want to call them are doing. So let's get straight into it. Let's talk about Birmingham City versus Reading because 2 okay results for each of them. Sorry.
Yeah, well, Reading did pretty well. I know, we know that Coventry are a little bit of a crisis club at the minute, but you've still got to beat them. And I think that, they've been in good form before the break. So it's a really good result for Reading. They'll take those 3 points all day long. For Birmingham, a 0-0 draw in your first game back, you're probably happy enough with that. Bit disappointed with it being against Blackpool, who obviously lower reach of the table and really struggling at the moment. But I think this one is fairly tough to call. I don't think either team really look as though they're in a really strong position to kick on. And so I'm reckoning this one will be a draw. Score draw, though, not too boring.
Yeah, I've gone for a 1-0 Birmingham City win. I'm still not massively excited by Reading Football Club. And Birmingham, I think it was a one to settle them down coming in back into the swing of things because Birmingham's had a really good start to the season. So, yeah, I'm thinking that Birmingham are going to get the first home win of the restart. Now, let's go on to talking about what is it, Ollie? What is it?
Bristol City, and it's a derby of the cities.
Yes, Battle of the Cities. Battle of the Cities. That's what I was looking for. What do you think is going to happen in this one?
I think this one's a tough one to predict. Bristol had a really good Bristol City. Apologies. Eternal apologies. And a fantastic win last week away at Rotherham. That's always feels like it should be a tricky game. They made it look easy, to be honest, and they've battered them. Stoke have had a 2-2 draw, which again, it's not a bad result for them coming back. They'll feel as though they can use it to kick on. So I'm expecting lots of goals in this game. These are two teams who definitely know where the back of the net is. I always think that Bristol City are streaky, and therefore, if they won last week, let's say they're going to win again this week. A really good game, 3-2 for Bristol City.
Right. City. Yeah, you've gone for 3-2 Bristol City. I've also gone for a Bristol City win, 2-0, pretty standard. Let's move on. Let's talk about Burnley. And in the title of the video, I've put Burnley on fire because they went to QPR away from home and absolutely smashed them to pieces. But Middlesbrough as well. Surprise package after Chris Wilder left. And now they're not looking like the surprise package anymore, are they, Ollie?
No, I think Middlesbrough are a good side. I think I had, at the start of the season, obviously, I had very high hopes for Middlesbrough.
Top one.
It didn't quite
Top one.
work. Top one. But that didn't quite pay off. But I still think there's a really good team in there, just looking to get their way out. Burnley, obviously, are the standout team in the division at the moment. I think they've been excellent first minute to the last. Fantastic win at QPR. But I don't know. I think they've got a bit of a rick in them. I like Middlesbrough, and I think they can do some damage here.
Are you going to say what sort of damage?
I think they can beat Burnley. I think they can win, and I think they can take this game 2-1.
I think you're absolutely right. I think that could happen. Anything can happen in this game. Two very on-form teams, but I'm just giving Burnley the edge by 2 goals. So I'm not really just giving them the edge. I think that Burnley have obviously got it in the locker to score 3 goals. They did it last week, and I think they're going to do it again. I think this might be where Middlesbrough's run kind of comes to an end, but it could go either way. It really, really could. So that's what I've gone for. A lot of people agree with me. A lot of people agree with you. Let's just see. I say a lot of people.
I don't think anybody agrees with me.
I thought I saw one. That's why I went with that. But yeah, let's move on. And let's talk about Cardiff City versus Blackpool. Are you thinking that Blackpool are going to struggle big time this season?
Yeah, I think Blackpool are in trouble. I think they've probably not quite got enough. I think before the Christmas break, one thing that I was hanging my hat on was their ability to score goals. But then obviously coming back last week, had a really drab 0-0 draw. And to be honest, I'm predicting another 0-0 draw here. These are two teams who are both not great, who are both probably going to be down there come the end of the season. I think this is probably going to be forgettable. And I think Blackpool are definitely on my watch list of teams that are really in trouble.
There we go. And you've gone for a 0-0 in this game. I think that Blackpool are in trouble too. I think Cardiff might just nick this one 1-0. But I don't think there's many goals in this game. And I thought Cardiff were dreadful just before the break when we played them. So I don't think it's going to be a classic. But now I've said that, anything's going to happen into it. It's going to be a 6-6 draw probably. So Joachim's gone for a 2-0 Blackpool away win. A 1-0 Cardiff. That's Daniel's agreeing with me. Another 0-0 or 1-0. So Charlie's just agreed with both of us there, really, hasn't it?
Yes.
Another Blackpool, a Cardiff. It's all up in the air. It's one of them games, isn't it, that like you can't really call. But let's move on to another game that you can't really call because Coventry have been an odd team this season. But with that boy Gyökeres up front, anything's possible.
Yeah, I mean, they've obviously got some fantastic players. And all of this new chaos, they were looking like a really good team, and I think they were everybody's kind of outside bet to be the ones who were going to kick on and potentially get that last spot in the playoffs. For me, though, I think there's just too much chaos around them at the moment. Both of these teams got probably fairly disappointing defeats last week. Of course, for Swansea playing against Norwich, they lost to at least a very good team. I think Swansea will get back on it, though. I think they'll win this game. I think they'll probably take advantage of Coventry just being in a complete mess. And unfortunately, that seems to be the story of Coventry's season. So I'm going a 1-0 away win.
Okay. I'll bring it up on screen. I'm just popping some more. And I also want to give Armin a massive shout out in Germany. Shout out. There you go. That's your shout out. Right. Okay. I'll pop up on screen right now our scores. Obviously, you've just said you've gone for a 1-0 Swansea win. I've gone for a 2-0 Coventry win. Like you said, they're in a bit of turmoil, but they're still a really good side. Another game that's like, who knows what's going to come of this? And yeah, am I right in thinking that Chris Wilder shouted out Coventry for the playoffs as well?
He did indeed, yeah. He fancies Gyökeres as possibly being the best player in the division, thinks he's excellent, and definitely was shouting out Coventry as being the ones to really step up and take that playoff spot. And I can see where he's coming from. I just don't know how mentally they handle this latest setup.
Time to plug. Time to plug.
Time to plug indeed. So if you get the opportunity, I managed to do a League of 72 video talking about the championship promotion race with Chris Wilder and some other guests from Burnley, from Blackburn, from Watford. And it was a really good experience, to be honest. Really enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll have the opportunity at some point to talk about my experience on this channel and the fantastic day that I had going out, meeting Chris Wilder and meeting David Prutton and just hearing some of their stories. It was awesome. So if you do get the chance, do visit League of 72 and give that video a watch. It was
absolutely great. And we've also put some snippets from that day that Ollie went on this channel. So one's already gone out where Chris Wilder's talking about Illiman and Die, and there's going to be a couple more going out. So make sure you check those out. But yeah, so jealous. So jealous. Now let's move on to talking about Huddersfield Town versus Watford Town. It's Battle of the Towns, isn't it? No, it's not. It's really, really not. Huddersfield Town played at Bramall Lane at the weekend. They weren't much cop. We weren't particularly that good, but we were clearly the better side and won the game. Watford won 5-1. Oh, no, wait. No, they didn't, did they, Ollie? You said they were going to win 5-1, and they drew 0-0, didn't they? What happened there?
Watford, innit? I mean,
Watford, innit? Do you know what? You could just say that every week, no matter what the score is. Watford, innit?
They're just impossible team to predict every single time. I think I've got my finger on them. I think they finally clicked. They've got it together. They're really going to kick on under Bilic. They then throw in one of those games like last week and end up in a stupid 0-0 draw when some idiot has backed them to go for a big win. So, of course, what do I do this week? I look at the performance of Huddersfield at Bramall Lane, where, quite frankly, they are completely toothless. I think their second half performance wasn't that bad. I think United just sat in, let them have the ball, and made it a really crap game, to be honest. But they just did never look like creating, never look like scoring. And so I think it'll be Huddersfield 0. Whether Watford score or not is anybody's game. I think they're going to get 4, but God knows.
Watford, innit?
Watford, innit?
Absolutely. There's a few good ones in here. I like Mia Cat. I'm going to go for. It's gone for a cheap little Huddersfield home win. And do you know what? Watford, innit? Who knows?
Watford, innit? I'd love that. I think if Huddersfield can win this game, I think it'd be huge. I think, they're probably starting to think as well that they need to get some wins together to get themselves out of relegation trouble, because at the minute they look like the most nailed on shout for League One football next year. So if they can try and get a win, fair play. I just don't see it myself.
Yeah, I don't think they've got the worst players on paper, so I think they can get themselves out of it, but they're in a bit of a sticky patch and they've been really poor since the very first game, because we all thought that Huddersfield against Burnley would have probably been closer than it was that very first game. Do you remember it?
Yeah, but I don't think we all said that, because I seem to remember the one thing that I did shout out was that Huddersfield were going down, and I shouted that out pre-season.
Well, every dog gets the day, don't they?
Even
anyway, let's move on.
Watch is right twice a day.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Hull City versus Sunderland AFC, apparently. So what are we going for in this one? Because Sunderland had a great win in their first game back after the break when nobody else was playing. And then they went and lost. So what are we expecting from them?
I don't know, to be honest. They've won one, they've lost one. Let's say they're going to draw one. Obviously, for Hull, we've just referenced them being the team that managed to stop Watford, that managed to hold them to a 0-0 draw, which is a fantastic result for Hull. But I think they're going to back it up with another 0-0 draw. Don't think this is going to be one for the neutrals. Just feel as though it's going to be a little bit dull, and Sunderland are just biding time until Ross Stewart gets fit again.
Fair enough. I'm not sure what Hull City have done to James Stribley, but yeah, he's thinking they're going to get hammered 9-1. Scott's gone 0-0, a slightly different flavour.
Surely James has accidentally hit the 9 when he was aiming for the 0.
He could have done. That's a good shout. That's a great shout. Let us know, James. Let us know. Yeah, let me pop up my prediction on screen. There we go. We've got Ollie 0-0. We've got me 2-1 Hull, because I think Sunderland, off the back of that defeat away from home, Hull City need a win to try and boost themselves up that league. I can see it's happening, and I love a 2-1.
You do love a 2-1.
I do. And you love a 0-0 when it comes to Preston, don't you? Let me look. Have you gone for 0-0?
I've not gone 0-0 for Preston this time
because
out.
Preston score goals for fun nowadays.
They do. They've become a completely different team. They got 4 last week. I mean, what is happening to the world when Preston are scoring 4 and Watford are scoring none? It's just a real sign of the Championship at the minute. I think Preston always had it in them to be the team that kicked on to try and take that sort of last playoff spot. I think QPR had a really, really not just disappointing result, but really disappointing performance against Burnley. That's what really let them down. They just did not play well. Never mind getting absolutely hammered in the result as well. I think they're going to be disappointed again. I think a home win. I'm going 2-1 Preston.
Okay. There we go. 2-1. I've gone for a big win. I think QPR have been poor for a while. I think they were poor at the back end of the kind of first half of the season, if you like. And I was thinking, right, they've got Burnley first game. They're all going to be up for it. They're going to be buzzing. They're going to either get something from the game or at least put up a good show. And nothing. Preston coming off the back of a big, big win away from home against another team that's up there. And I'm sorry, if you're going to watch that League of 72 video, I don't even know why the Blackburn fan turned up, because there's absolutely no way that Blackburn are going to finish anywhere near the top. And he seemed like he knew that as well.
He did, yeah. I think he felt a little bit embarrassed to be there. But, they were top 4 at the time. They were third, had a fantastic start to the season. So you could say they earned their seat at the table just as much as anybody else did. But no, they're certainly not a team that I'm expecting to continue to be in that automatic promotion race. I think they'll probably struggle to continue in the playoff race, to be honest. Just not a good side.
Yeah, there we go. Now let's move on to a team that's turned their fortunes around, West Bromwich Albion, who went from being the worst team I have seen live for a while when we went to the Hawthorns and they were dreadful and we weren't particularly good, and we comfortably beat them 2-0 at the Hawthorns. And I remember saying at the time, that is the easiest game we will ever have at the Hawthorns, because West Bromwich Albion are always a good team, and they just really weren't. Since the new manager's come in, look at them flying.
Yeah, they've been on some good form. I think the United game was Corberan's first game, but since then they seem to have really put a string of results together. Have they won 4 on the spin? And I certainly am more than happy to choose West Brom as my banker for this week. I think they will be.
You went banker early
at home. I've gone banker early. I'm going for a home win against a Rotherham side that really disappointed last week. They'll probably want to try and send a message, but I just don't think they've got the quality. I've seen 2 or 3 other 2-0 predictions get thrown out there in the comments, and so they back me up to go for a banker of West Brom winning 2-0 at home.
I'm a little bit annoyed with you, Ollie. I'm going to be honest, because you caught me out then as I was going through the comments, and you went banker, and I'm like, I need to put it on screen. But I can't. So, and I'm also a little bit gutted that you didn't go banker.
I don't think I've got it in my throat today. I think I've got to wait and save it for next week when I can really commit. I'll just end up coughing and spluttering if I try it today.
Yeah, I've given it to you anyway. I've given you the banker. Now, do you know what? Let's just move straight on, because Norwich City versus Blackburn Rovers. As I said earlier, Blackburn Rovers, terrible at the moment. Norwich City, I knew that they were going to come good at some point. Really, really good win last week away. And do you know what? Boom, banker! A big 4-0 win for Norwich City. Now, let me just say, I don't expect Norwich City to win 4-0. I'm not going banker because I'm thinking they're definitely going to win 4-0. I'm saying banker because I cannot see Blackburn Rovers even scoring in this game, never mind getting anything from it. So that's the reason why I've gone for a big Norwich win.
Interesting. It's a similar process to what I tried last week, where I thought, well, which team I'm most confident are going to win? It's Watford. Go
Just
on a
as you said that,
win.
Joachim's gone for a 1-0 Blackburn win. Fantastic.
Yes, Joachim. I love that. Just to immediately put you in your place, Nick. I can see Blackburn getting a goal. I think that's one thing that they have got in their squad is some goal scorers. They've still got Brereton Diaz. I think Bradley Dack's coming back now. So they've certainly got goals in the squad, but I just don't think they're strong enough to win this game. I think at home, Norwich are always a really good side, and I think they'll want to really kick on, really start to put the pressure on teams like United for those automatic promotion spots, especially after they had such a bad run towards the end of that period before the World Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I can see them finishing outside the playoffs. Let's move on to Luton Town versus Millwall, Ollie's favourite team.
Indeed, apparently so. But for the first time in a while, I'm not really backing Millwall to do very much here. I think this is going to be a pretty poor game. Luton, after losing their first game back, will probably just want to steady the ship a little bit. They'll probably focus on being defensively solid, trying to make sure they don't lose the game. And ultimately, I think that's going to make it a really sort of boring spectacle. To be honest, I think this one's not going to be one for the neutrals, and another 0-0.
0-0 now. Meerkat has agreed with you, but he's gone for 1 goal each. James Stripley, 2-0 Luton. 3-1 from Daniel, saying that Millwall are going to win this game. I heard a cough then. I heard a cough. Joachim's also gone for a 1. We don't know. Oh, 1-0. There we go.
Oh.
He's followed up with it. 2-1 Luton. We really were. I've gone for a 1-1. Yeah, I can see Luton nicking it. Can't really see Millwall doing much here, but yeah, let's see what happens. And finally, the biggest game of the week is Wigan versus Sheffield United. It's probably not, but it is for us. Sheffield United coming off the back of a win, home win. Wasn't a massively impressive game, I don't think, or performance from the Blades. But yeah, no one's going to be massively impressive going straight into games after having a few weeks off, other than Burnley. So Wigan versus Sheffield United. What are you expecting from this, Ollie?
Yeah, I think this is an interesting one. It's hard to predict Wigan, really, at the moment. Obviously, new manager came in during the World Cup, so I don't really know what I'm expecting from them. They didn't lose their first game coming back, which obviously is a better result than they've been getting before the World Cup, so maybe they're on an upward trajectory. It's really hard to know where they're going to go, but I'm going to back United here. I think United are a good team. I think we have proven that so far throughout the season. I think, obviously, we've got some good news today about McBurney. Maybe, he's still not 100% fit, but it'd still be nice to see him really trying to capitalize on that and make it a really good week for himself. And I can't wait to be really getting over my flu by being stood in the freezing cold away end in Wigan on Monday night. It's going to be horrible. And I do think United are going to win, though. I'm saying 2-0, I think. Feeling fairly confident. I did just see that somebody had bankered Wigan, though, which gives me a real terror. And you've not even got United to win. You always have United to win.
I know. And I think just from watching them the other day, I think if we play anything like we did against Huddersfield away at Wigan, after they've come off the back of a decent result, I don't know. I just feel like it's one of them games on Sky, like the one when we went away to Swansea. Not many chances in the game. We managed to nick that one. But this time, I don't know. It could go either way. I'm hoping it's going to be a Blades win. I'm definitely hoping it's not going to be a Wigan win. But I think, I don't know. I'm feeling quite pessimistic about this game. But I'm going to have to back it up. And do you know what? I hope I am not doing the match preview because I don't want to have to put this up on screen and all the United fans give me jip.
Yeah, you see, I'm going to bring it up regardless, to be honest. So whether you're there or not, Nick, you're going to get all that stick.
Fair enough, mate. I probably deserve it. I really do. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. As always, put all your scores and your score predictions in the comments. Put a big B next to the one that you want as a banker, and you may get 3 extra points. Oh, no, 6 points or 2 points. So, yeah, have a great weekend. Hopefully, whoever you support win. Well,
unless you support Wigan
or Wednesday.
Oh, well, yeah, but if you support them, why are you watching?
It's very true. It's very true. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers, Ollie, and we will see you next time.